Hello and welcome to the channel. My name is Annalisa and this is going to be my original Palentine's Day book tag. A little bit of background about this. Editing me realizes I went on for a bit here, so if you want to skip to the questions, I will have a time code for that in the description. I was looking for Valentine's Day book tags and I did find one that I really liked. It's called the Valentine's Day Sweetheart book tag. So I'll link that below and I will probably do that tag later in the month. A lot of the focus was on romantic love, which is how most people experience Valentine's Day. That's more the standard experience. My experience with Valentine's Day has always been a celebration of platonic love. When I was a kid, my mom would buy all three kids and her husband Valentine's Day card and gifts for the kids, and my dad would give my mom a card, and I would make all my siblings and both my parents cards as well. My sister also sometimes made cards for both me and my brother as well as our parents, and then my brother pretty much just made them for our parents. But that didn't bother me because for me it wasn't about receiving love nearly as much as it was about showing love. And for someone who can be very shy about expressing my feelings, especially love feelings, it was very nice to have a day where I could specifically reach out and tell especially my siblings but also my parents that I loved them, and I would also write in their cards specific things about them that I enjoyed, and things that I liked about their personality or things that we would do together. We also did the thing in our homeschool co-op where you get a bunch of these little square cards for everyone in your class, and basically just write their names and give them a little candy. Because it was the tradition to give them to everyone in class and not to just give them to your friends, I never ended up with an empty Valentine's box. So that was really nice and I felt loved, and I also felt like I was giving a little piece of joy to my classmates on that day. So that has always been my experience with Valentine's Day. I'm asexual, and that can make romantic relationships a little bit more difficult to find because most people who are not asexual expect to have sex with their partner, with their romantic partner. Also, autistic, very socially anxious. So although I've had crushes on people over the years, I never said a thing. Never said a thing. And pretty much extra avoided anyone I had a crush on. So never been on a date, never had a significant other. So if you're 26 years old and that's your experience, don't feel bad. That is a thing that people experience sometimes, and it's okay. Whether you are aromantic or alloromantic. You can date when you're ready and when you want to. So that's why I decided to do a Palentine's tag, which is the official day, sort of semi-official. It's mostly official in queer spaces, where we celebrate platonic love instead of romantic love, because a lot of people do feel extra lonely on Valentine's Day if they don't have a significant other, because society is very allonormative, and a lot of types of platonic love are really devalued, especially in American society. It's basically an offshoot of Galentine's, which I believe came first, that is gender neutral. So this tag is all about celebrating platonic love in books. So the first prompt is name a platonic relationship in a book. And I picked a sisterly relationship that is in War Girls. This is a duology by Tochi Onyebuchi, and it is about a futuristic Nigeria where there are lots of advanced war machines, and there's a war going on, and we have some sisters who are working to stay together and protect each other through the chaos of war. Number 2, name a found family in a book. I picked Raybearer because there is something called a council that is formed around a new king, and each member of the council is from a different country within the empire, and they are raised together from children, selected for each other as children, and then they grow up together and they form a mind link where they can talk to each other in their minds, and they all become very close with each other. Also, I just finished Redemptor, which is the second book of the duology, and I just want to say that it brings it home very nicely. I loved how it wrapped things up and the development it took of the themes from the first book. Next is a queer relationship in a book. This can be romantic or platonic, queer platonic, whatever kind. I picked in the book Fire Becomes Her, our main character has a some sort of queer relationship that's a little bit more difficult to define with another character. She is on the aromantic spectrum, and I believe he is on the asexual spectrum, but they come to love each other, and what type of love it is doesn't have to be defined. Next is a relationship between a human and a non-human. Once again, this can be romantic or platonic, familial, any kind. And it could be a humanoid creature or a non-humanoid. So I picked in Dragons in a Bag, there are several non-human creatures that our main character makes friends with, and in Accidental Apprentice, one of the way that you get magic is by forming a bond with a magical creature, and our main character accidentally forms a bond with a magical wolf type creature, and suddenly needs someone to teach him how to use magic. It's very fun, and I also really enjoy the next book in the series. I haven't read the third one yet. The next prompt is an aromantic character or someone who can be headcanoned as aromantic, or in other words, there is little to no romantic attraction experienced by that character in the book. So for example, I think that Kelladry of the Protector of the Small series by Tamora Pierce, I believe, was first headcanoned by a swath of the fan base to be aromantic, and I think it was later on that Tamora Pierce, the author, said, yep, she's aromantic. But I picked someone who is canonically aromantic, and that is Catherine from Deathless Divide. She is somewhat in the previous book in the duology, but she is a full perspective main character in Deathless Divide. This is a zombies during the American Civil War story. Then, to be a little anti-Valentines, what is a romance in a book you wish didn't happen? For whatever reason. It detracted from the plot, it didn't make sense, the people weren't good for each other. I picked the romance in Love is a Revolution because I liked the book, I just didn't like the romance. I felt like the two characters were too pushy to each other and just only really liked each other because they found each other attractive and were not connecting on any other level. So I felt like that romance didn't do it for me at all and kind of detracted from the point of the book, which was more about caring about people and loving yourself rather than about finding romantic love with someone who you find attractive. Also, I've read 2 books of the Davabad trilogy, and honestly, I would feel more inclined to finish the 3rd book if there were not romantic elements involved. Like, if I didn't feel like things were going to go away I didn't like with the romances, I would feel much more inclined to finish the trilogy. And then, for fun, what is your ideal Palentine's date? I would very much enjoy a trip to a bookstore together where we would browse independently and then show each other what we found, and then to go home and watch a TV show I've seen a million times before. Finally, pick some pals to tag. I'm going to tag Anna G, Nat Cat's Bookish Cafe, Kara of Wild Book Garden, Michelle of Thor Wants Another Letter, Nicole's Bookish Nook, Real Life Kazbrecker, Renee of the Librarian of Alexandria, and Trope Trinity Trilogy. No pressure whatsoever to do this tag, and also if I haven't tagged you but you would enjoy doing this tag, feel free. And do comment below and let me know so that I can come and watch it. Let me know in the comments below a platonic relationship you enjoyed in a book. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next video. Bye!